Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to our first edition of Career Mode in Monster Energy Supercross 2, the official video game, where today I'm just going to jump right in. Before I even get started with this video though, I just want to say that like everything in this video is actually my honest thoughts and opinions. I know that I've had some backlash from the first video I did that was telling me that I was being bought and paid for and saying too many nice things about Milestone, but I honestly will kind of actually rip into them a little bit today. So I feel like I'm trying to be as honest as I can about what I feel. And if you guys don't like what I have to say about the game, I seriously, please urge you to go listen to other YouTubers that are putting videos out right now. I think like Wyndham151, Moto Agogo, Yellow S2K, Tylin, I think all those guys are, maybe even Spencer Turley, I think, are putting out videos. So please listen to them too. Like, just take all the information before you decide to buy this game, or if you're on the fence about it. I mean, don't just listen to me. So if you like me, that's cool. If you don't, I understand. I just hope to at least accomplish some things with this video today. But so jumping in, when you first start career mode, because I actually already started one, but I'm resetting it now, you'll actually have to customize your rider. So I've already pretty much done that. First and last name, like you can edit your name, and then you can also edit the style of the name on the back. And then a cool thing is you can kind of customize how big you want the name to be. So I usually keep it, I don't know, like that size in the middle. You can change the color of it too, but I like the gear and all that I'm with right now. Normally I run obviously 52 is my number, but that's taken in this game, and I would run 952 as well, but I like 101 Ben Townley style. And again, you can change this, you can change the color, and then you can edit the size of it as well. I'll rock this one. I changed it up a little bit. I've been running that other number a little bit, other number style a little bit too long. You can also edit your height. I think you can go as high as about 7 feet, like a little over 7 feet, and as low as a little above the 5 foot mark. So there. I am 5'11", so I'm right on 181 centimeters, I think that is. I don't know. I don't know the metric system that well. And then you can choose a different geographical region based on whatever you want and wherever you live. Obviously, I'm in the USA. I'm in California, so that's how you select that. You can change up your rider appearance. You have several faces to choose from. Mine's pretty standard. I have brown eyes. I have no facial hair. My hair is brown. I have no facial hair, as I mentioned. I already bought this hat, this fly hat, so I'll put it on. You get sunglasses too, but I don't know. Don't need sunglasses. You can get tattoos for your face, your neck, throat. Kind of have a lot of options there, and then earrings as well for both ears if you want. Again, I already did all that, so no biggie there. Rider outfit, there's tons of options. I would urge you to take a look at the video that I did that kind of covers everything. Probably the biggest ones are like these cool animated ones that are the shot helmets, or the shot gear. I don't think they actually have it for the goggles, but I already have like a fly setup here with 100% goggles that I'm wearing, so pretty much just going to leave it at that, but there's a lot of different options you can choose from. I'll stick with this fly outfit. Go back. And then last but not least, you can choose from celebrations to do. If you buy all of them, you can do all of them. I mean, like this one is just left hand up, left bumper. It's automatically unlocked. Greetings to the left bumper, and A. Like, there's a bunch of different options. Like you can go way down here and do cans and nothings, knacks, dabs, salt shaker thing or whatever. No handers, buddy to the right. Like there's tons of things you can do, but you have to buy these ones. And I'll explain further, but it really actually is a pretty hard career mode in terms of like earning credits and prestige. But we'll get to that point. As for the bike, I already have this on my preset one. I'm going to jump into the 250 class first, so I'll edit my 250 bike now because I haven't touched it at all. And I started with Honda just because it was what I did on the first career mode. I thought I already bought bars. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, these bars I bought already. Bar pad. Cool. I think I bought grips too, or maybe I didn't. Let's see. Let's get a nice set of ODI grips on the bars here. Bang. Then hand guards. I actually really like handguards. Some people don't. But you have a lot of different options here. I'm not going to bore you with the long details of it all. Let's get some exhaust up in here too. Like FMF pipes particularly. But actually maybe switch it up. Maybe do some pro circuit pipes in here. Or even these like nice long blue Scalvini pipes. Lots of different options. Yosh pipes. Yeah, let's do those carbon Yosh pipes. Those look good. Tires. I haven't bought tires yet. I'll go with Michelin. So once you buy these, you can keep them. I think you can use them on either bike as well. I don't have enough, or I do have enough credits for rims. So why not? I'll buy rims. Shoot, what rims do I want? I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can change the rims up anyway. Like change the colors of the rims and whatnot. We'll go with those. I mean, why not? I already have suspension on here. I have or no, I don't. Oh, and I ran out of credits. I should have bought the Race Tech suspension. Lots of brakes options. Get sprockets. Seats. I think I have a seat for the Honda too. Maybe it doesn't fit to the 250F. It's kind of annoying. Thought I bought that one. Guess not. Anywho, bike graphics. I hope the 450 livery goes over. Of course it doesn't. Sweet. All right, well, I guess I'll run the sponsor livery, and you'll see that in a second. And then again, you can literally change like everything about components. I think I already did that. I have like red everything mixed in here, red levers and brake lines, and the clutch guard I left the same, but the chain is black. The nipples are white, I think. Yeah, and then I put the spokes on red. So you can do, there's a lot of customization options here that you can choose from. I'm just kind of briefly showing you that because you'll have to do that when you start your career mode. Since I already have created a character, it's just going to welcome you to the career mode, and then you get to choose East or West. I did East when I started, so I'm going to do West now just so that I'm doing something different, but you can obviously do whatever it is that your golden heart desires. Let's see, what do I want? Usually I base this off of how much you get for finishing in the race well, which looks like NutUp is actually going to offer the most for the race. The promotional day stuff, like that varies, so we'll do that, and you can choose not to apply, but I'm going to apply it because, again, I don't have any graphics, so why not? And then this is cool. Part of the career mode is you get to choose how you want to use your days. You automatically have to take at least 2 or 3 rest days a week, so you get to choose, like today, let's say we'll do training. On our free day, we'll do a challenge, and then the bonus day is you can do any one, like if you noticed on this day, when I selected challenge, it didn't let me do training. It's because you can't do the same thing twice in 1 week, except on the bonus day you could do training, challenge, promotional day, or media day if you chose one of them at the beginning. Just to show it, I'll do media day, I guess, meeting the journalists, and confirm those changes. And so this is your career hub, basically. This is where you can change your outfit, change up your bike. I'm going to change my bike just so that I can change where the numbers are, because it looks like trash right now. So there. Right side. And you can rotate the numbers a little bit too to make it look a little cleaner. And left side. Oh. Oh, too much. Too much. Stop it. Okay. Right there. That's perfect. Yeah, perfect. All right, sweet. So got that bike looking sharp. Your season agenda, this will show you from week to week what you do, but obviously we're only on week 1. And then race options, what I'm doing is the race sessions are, let's see, qualifying, then the main event. We'll do the real thing. We'll do short races, AI on realistic, advanced physics, joint brakes off, rider manual, and transmission manual, rewind off, and flow aid off, because that stuff is trash. I don't want to look at that. And hopefully we'll get into the riding here soon. Yeah. So training. I've already done all these trainings. I've done all the way to here, and I was about to start on the intermediate layout, but I'll go back and do this. I didn't complete reflexes properly, so we'll start off with reflexes and see if I can finish reflexes 1 good. I think reflexes has to do with just starts those specifically. I think that is like get the best jump out of the gate. So yeah, train your reflexes by reacting the least amount of time possible. When to the gate drops, your reaction time will determine your final score. So the time is coming down as soon as the gate drops, and you just have to get from the gate to the line in the shortest amount of time, which I did not. So we'll try again. I did this over and over again and kept trying to jump the gate, and eventually just settled with trying to react to it. Oh, back up. No, that's a terrible jump. It really wasn't that bad, actually. Maybe I should lean back. Let's see if I can. This is the worst ever gameplay start ever. Like, you guys are probably itching to see the gameplay. And it looks terrible because I'm doing, like, nothing. I just want to get that 3rd star. It's so freaking close. Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez. This is a long one. Alright, I'm going to try to time the gate. I already have 2 stars, so we'll try to time it. Nope, didn't get it. Yep, terrible jump. Whatever. 2 stars, so I guess I will never ever complete this one. Sick. So, training, you can do scrubbing, reflexes, cornering, leaning, or something else like that. Challenge is where you specifically challenge one of your rivals. So you do either a time attack or a versus challenge. I'm going to do a time attack because the rivalry will actually get affected more since their rivalry is heavier. So I'll face Bradley Taft, who's a 75% rival right now, on a time challenge. This is basically just like do the fastest lap that you can, and you get 3 laps to try to beat the time that they set. So it's basically like super pole, if you can imagine that. Yeah, let's go ahead and try to beat old Bradley Taft's time here. So the gameplay is interesting, to say the least. You'll remember that in the video that I showed when I went up to Anaheim and played the game a little bit, that I was pretty skeptical of the game and like how it felt and what I felt about the game. And I mean, personally speaking, I do enjoy the game, but I've maybe backed it down a little bit from my enthusiasm about the game. Simply put, the best thing I can tell you guys is the first, I don't know, give or take 5 to 7 hours of playing the game, you won't like it. I'm just going to tell you that. It'll annoy you. There are things about the game that will glitch that you will kind of get mad or pissed off about. But once you put a little bit more time into it and figure out how to play the game properly and what works and what doesn't, it's actually a pretty damn sweet game. Like, it really does work well to flow your corners and to carry momentum, and obviously I'm using manual shifting, so to know how to shift correctly and what time and where to shift and all that, like, it definitely matters. Now, in terms of, here, I'll do a show time here. Let's see. Did I hit it in time? No, I guess I didn't. So in terms of like actually like the physical aspect of the game, I like the ground physics a little bit better in this game as opposed to the last game. And so here's media day, by the way. This is basically just talking to the press, and it lasts for like 3 seconds, and then you get fame rewards for it, which is more prestige, so you can level up quicker. But that'll make sense when you play it. Anyway, we'll go ahead and jump into the race here and start doing some practice here at Angel Stadium. I like the ground physics better. You feel a little bit more seated to the ground, and at first I think you guys will not like it because it's not as I would say as fluid as Monster Energy Supercross 1 was, but it is 100% a different game. Like, I think a lot of people watched the first video that I did and commented how it looked so similar to the first one and that they're basically just rehashing the games. I can assure you it's not the same game, and the second you get your hands on it, you'll realize how different it really does feel. The reason I tend to like the ground physics a little bit more in this game is because, like, you can't blow corners away. Like, you can carry your momentum and it works, but like that's kind of a given. Like in Supercross in real life, that's step number one about every single corner that you go through is carrying your momentum so that you don't lose speed and can't get the drive for the next rhythm lane. So because of that, I like the ground physics because they haven't changed much when it comes to going in a straight line, but cornering is 100% different. Like the way that you have to attack a corner and flow a corner is so much different in the second version than it was in the first one. As for like jumping and rhythm lanes, I don't like it as much as the first one. I think that they maybe took a little step backwards in this department. The flow of it is good, but it doesn't necessarily make sense how things work sometimes, like when you're trying to carry momentum and speed through a rhythm lane and you feel like you've landed stuff absolutely 100% perfectly, like can't hit it any better than I hit it, and it still just like doesn't seem to work. That's kind of the annoying part of it, where it's like, to me that feels a little bit closer to Alive, MX vs ATV Alive, if I can equate it to something. Like to flow a rhythm lane in MX vs ATV Alive was pretty much the hardest thing to do in that game. And it got annoying because it was just so hard to time everything. But now in this game, I feel it's maybe one of the better like aspects of it when it comes to carrying your momentum, because the old one, Monster Energy Supercross 1, you could make a ton of mistakes, flub a rhythm section or whatever, and just like brop through the rest of it no problem. Like it was nothing that held you back from doing that. You would just hit every line as if it was the first time you hit the line, and like just it was too easy in my opinion. So now this one kind of changes it up a little bit, where you have to find different lines that work. Like here I am doing a completely different rhythm section than I did the first time through here, and still trying to get a drive to clear the Supercross triple. Like I said, I don't know like if I love that physical aspect of it compared to the first one, but the difference is noticeable. I think when you play it the first time, you guys will notice that. Obviously, everybody and their mother wants to know, how are the air physics? What do the air physics feel like? They're still pretty kind of lame, for lack of a better word. Like you can kind of still turn the bike in the air if you're gonna go off the track. In terms of like whipping, there's not so much of like a whip as it is just like a scripted scrub, but as you notice there, like I can do very different types of scrubs, and like the way that you control the bars with your hands kind of makes it look different. You can tweak scrubs out a little bit more. It's not just as scripted as like it throws out and comes back and that's it. It hangs out a little bit longer. You have to kind of focus on actually bringing it back, which is something that personally I enjoy because I hated how quickly the scrubs would throw out and come back. This one, it is 100% on you to throw it out and bring it back when you want to. You can throw it out super far and maybe not bring it back, or you could just do a little blip and then, you know, see like that one pretty far. Like it looks pretty weird just because of where the rider's positioned, but the actual bike positioning is kind of nice. Like it does look a little weird too, but see, like it's not that bad. Like, you just have to learn how to do it. I've seen a lot of people play it on the demo mode at the Supercross races when they're playing the game for the very first time, and they throw it out expecting it to just really kick out like it does in the first game and then come right back, and it takes forever for it to come back. I think that's a new feature that they worked on, where it's like you really control how far it goes and how far it takes to come back. And yeah, I mean, it's a learning process. That's why I said at the beginning of this video, like when you pick up this game and you play it for the first time, you will not enjoy it. I'm just gonna tell you, like the first 4 or 5 hours is gonna be like, this is so much different than the first game. At least this is my experience. I mean, I guess if it's your first time buying, you may find it enjoyable right off the bat because you never played the first one. But if you've played the first one and you kind of got semi-used to the physics in that one, this one is such a different like rewrite of the first one that you'll go into it thinking it's going to feel like the first one and realize very quickly it's not, and struggle with it. But once you learn like what it feels like and how everything goes, I don't know. I really tend to believe that you guys will enjoy it once you get past that hump. When you get past that hump, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know how long it's going to take you to play the game and enjoy it. But for me, it was about 5-6 hours. And some people don't love that about games like this. They would prefer it to be just pick up and play easy. That's kind of the nature of an arcade game. If you wanted to play a sim, you go play Sim or MX Bikes. If you wanted to play an arcade game, you play this or MX Just ATV All Out. But this one definitely has a steeper learning curve to it than the first one, and I kind of like that. So, but that's just me. Maybe you don't love that. I think that they also fixed the starts, which was like you couldn't use the clutch to get a good start. Obviously, I just did. And then you can also use the same techniques that you used before, which is like wide open and then shift into gear. The dynamic times a day and stuff like that is kind of cool, but I think they got it a little bit wrong, because like this is the heat race and it still looks like it's daylight out. I mean, most races that's never the case. Like it's not until like the very last races of the year when it might still be light out when the heat races are going, but by far, like Anaheim, the first round of the year, the heat races are in the dark. Like, I don't know, just little details like that I think they could pick up on. And then you'll notice that in the first video that I released, I guess it was in part with this video too, but I touched on like the changing dynamics. I've already done quite a few rain races in this game, and they're pretty damn fun because it's not as easy as it was in the first game. The first game was really simple to navigate through the mud and it not really drag you down that much. This game, it is definitely harder to keep your momentum up and carry speed through the corners and stuff like that in the mud. Doesn't mess around, that's for sure. So, I don't know, like that aspect. What else can I hit on? A couple other things if I remember them. See, it's like right there, different rhythm lane, came up a little bit short, but I don't know. I think that they did a decent enough job with the kind of flow aspect of the game to kind of change up your variations of lines. The whips do look a little weird when you're trying to bring them back, but I don't know. I'm maybe a little bit too uppity up on this game, as some people have said, but that's just my personality, I guess. I'm an optimist. Like, I want to see the best in this game, and I try to take what I think they did good from the first game and couple it with what they've done good in the second game and hope that that means improvement. I think that there are some things that they messed up a little bit. I do think that the light floatiness of the first game was something I wanted them to change, and they did when it came to ground physics, but the air physics still feel like that light floatiness, like it was good in the air, and if they can even that balance out a little bit, it'd be fine. It does feel like slowed down from the first one, which I kind of wanted to see, because I felt like the first one you could get it going a little bit too fast, do things that were a little bit too big. And maybe my biggest kind of pet peeve, which you really can't see on tracks like this because there's not many rhythm sections, is how hard they forced the rhythm lanes and sections of the track to work. I know that they tried to replicate the tracks as closely as they could, and you know, the lead developers of the game talked about how, oh geez, I'm going over backwards, but I'm doing a one-hander. Lead developers of the game talked about how they had to kind of force rhythm sections to happen anyway, because if you know, you just found yourself doing quads in the middle of the rhythm section, that doesn't work. Like, that's not how it works in real life, so they tried to change that up. But I almost wish that they just, you know, 3D scan the track and, like, you know, the bumps were as they were, and then we could kind of do what we felt what worked. Because the way that they forced lines made it so that other lines that they were actually doing in real life are impossible. For example, Phoenix, which I won't get to in this video, but I will eventually. In real life, they're tripling up onto the plateau table before the finish and then tripling over the tall 5-foot single after that. It is literally impossible in this game. Like, I haven't even gotten close to it once, but every one of the top 450 guys was doing it. And I wish that that was something that they kind of like left as an option, but I think they tore down the lip on that step off purposely so that you couldn't do it. And like I said, when I get to that track, I'll point that aspect of it out. But that was something that struck out to me as like, man, I kind of wish that they had left it just so that we could have done something like that. I mean, I get why they try to tone it down so that it only works for certain rhythm lanes, but part of me wishes that they left it, I guess. And then again with these games, like, I kind of briefly just touched on it, but, you know, really, like, if you're a big motocross fan, you're probably following my channel. Like, that's just the bare minimum of it. Like, I don't feel that there's many people that follow my channel that are not into motocross and supercross on like a pretty regular basis and watch it. So I can understand the frustration of watching this because it doesn't give you like a fully realistic experience of what it's like to ride a dirt bike. I know that this isn't like 100% the best physical game I've ever played for dirt bike racing. But you really do have to understand all of the audience they're catering to. The analogy that I can use best for this is, so my wife was actually babysitting a couple kids that her coworkers needed us to babysit, and they came over to our place one night, and I decided to load up MX vs. ATV All Out on the TV. And by far the thing that they loved doing the most was getting in the UTVs and like flipping them and crashing them and doing things like that. So while for us as Supercross and motocross fans want like a truly real, authentic, it feels perfect experience of a dirt bike game, dirt bikes are hard. They're really hard to ride in real life. And if you just take like MX Simulator's physics and plant them into this game, it would never sell. People would hate it because the casual player would pick it up and think it's way too hard to learn. I mean, I'm thousands of hours in a sim and it's still a struggle for me. So like, you really have to understand where they're coming from when they build a physics engine like this, that it's like, it has to be tamed down, it has to be easier. Yes, do we want it to be more realistic? Of course we do as fans, but on some level they have to find a happy medium where like it's difficult for us, it's a challenge for us, and yet it's still fun for the casual players so they don't feel like they're completely on the struggle bus every single time they pick up the game, you know? So that's just something that like I feel like I almost have to say every time that I do these videos, that look, if you like sims and you want to have a realistic experience, MX Simulator, MX Bikes, it's perfect. It's out there for you. Try it out. Get used to one of those games, because if you can figure out the physics in both of those games, they are very, very good when it comes to playability. If you just want a casual experience as a gamer, here you are. You're looking at it right here. It's not going to be super realistic because super realistic is hard. I mean, I think that we're maybe not too far off from somewhere down the road, these games having like realism mode in it, to the point where like the realistic physics are actually supremely difficult. But I mean, even, you know, like a Formula 1 game, the hardest difficulty on F1 2018 is nowhere near as hard as it is to play iRacing. iRacing is really difficult, and you have to have precision abilities within driving a racing vehicle to know how the physics of the car are going to work and things like that. Whereas like in Formula 1 2018, you kind of just have to know how F1 racing works and then have a heavy right foot. Like, that's just my honest opinion of it. I mean, yeah, I know they have like a world championship esport based around it, but I don't think that it requires like a gallon of skill to be decent at that game. Just like I don't think it does require a gallon of skill to be decent at this game. So yeah, maybe the ground physics aren't perfect, maybe the air physics aren't perfect, maybe the whole game isn't perfect, but if you try it out and you get used to it, I think you'll realize that it is a rather enjoyable game. Now, does it make it a 10 out of 10? No, of course it doesn't. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to tell you guys this is the best game ever and go to your dealership or whatever, your store, and buy it right now. Like, of course you have to make an educated decision on what it is that you want to buy. I understand that. But as a motocross fan and enthusiast, I think that this is a good game and something that would be a positive influence on supporting a company like Milestone, the same way I feel about MX vs. ATV All Out. It has its niche within the market, and it's a decent enough game that I would say that you're going to support the people that make games for our sport by going out and buying this game, or buying MX vs. ATV All Out, or buying Monster Energy Supercross 1, because they're actually here trying to develop a game for us super fans of the sport. If you're a casual gamer and maybe you're on the fence about buying this game for the first time ever, and you've never played Monster Energy Supercross 1, my advice to you is do it. Like, get it, try it, experience it, see what it feels like, get an idea of what it is that the game feels like and how to play it, and maybe it'll get you into Supercross, which is obviously, I think, kind of the end goal for Feld partnering with Milestone, is to like have a video game where youth gets activated within the sport, and maybe they buy a dirt bike themselves, or maybe they start watching Monster Energy Supercross on TV or going to the event. So, you know, it's kind of a marketing ploy in some sense, but it's also a way to get people excited about the game. And if Milestone makes a bad game, obviously people won't be excited about it. I don't think that this is a bad game. I think there's plenty of flaws, and I'll go over that in this series, but it's not a bad game. Like, if it was a horrendous game, I would say it is. It's not. Like, this isn't like, I don't know, like, some people compare it to games of like 20 years ago. Like, nothing is as good as VMX Racing and Excitebike, and those games are great for their times. I understand that, but we're new. Like, we're on a new level. We're on a higher design skill set now. It's different, and I think that games like this need to be looked at as that way. All the time, every single time, I hear people say, "We just need reflex physics back." I mean, that someone is going to comment on this video and say, "We need reflex too." And I hear you, buddy. Loud and clear, I hear you. We need reflex too, sure. So go ahead and turn back time, get THQ out of business, and get the people that used to work at Rainbow back in office so that they could reroute the reflex code that used to exist, which doesn't anymore, and install it into a new game. That's not Milestone's deal. Milestone started with a different physics engine, you know? So yeah, I think that you really have to take everything in this game with like a new experience. And again, I'm not trying to sell you on the game. If you're looking at this and you see something that you don't like right now there's a glitch happening. The sound effect from the previous thing is still going, and it's still going to go until this video is over. It's already happened to me once before. If you don't like this game and the gameplay and things like that, look, I understand. I'm not telling you that I'm not going to love you if you don't buy this game. Like, you're still a great fan of my channel, and I appreciate you guys coming by to watch this video. But I'm just trying to tell you, it's a different game, it's a new experience, and me personally, I would recommend going out and trying out this game. So I'll try to divulge more about this game once the career mode gets involved, but I wanted to actually release a first look video kind of again, where I tell you my thoughts and opinions. I really do feel that there are things that I like about this game and things that I don't really like, and I tried to hit on that in this video. If you guys like my thoughts and opinions, let me know in the comment section below what it is that you do like, what you'd like to hear more about before this game comes out on the February 8th, this Friday. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can about this game. And yeah, I hope to see you guys come back for all of our career mode videos. And if you do or you don't, I still love you nonetheless. So thanks for watching another video here on Star Systems. I'm Kellen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.